specifically as
Okay.
software.
related to.
Okay.
So
And
just to,
technology is really supposed to be about what tech they're using for touches,
For lead gen.
lead gen, things at work.
so just to start with, like, how many of you guys are using any of the technology, kind of like Facebook, Twitter, or something, to gain traction or to make touches? Like, okay,
Anything.
As a lead gen tool.
as a lead gen tool, yeah. Every.
How you doing, friend?
Ooh, I'm tired. Thanks, sorry.
Welcome.
I guess this is where I stand.
Yes.
So we just started like with a question like how many people are like using any kind of social media tool to have attraction for a lead generation. You said you,
Yeah.
so what exactly you use?
I use primarily Facebook. We'll go over to Instagram soon.
Okay.
And I'll probably use LinkedIn as well. Maybe Twitter, but I don't really like playing there.
Great. So let me start what I do on the Facebook. So I do have a Facebook page like you all guys must have also, and I try to be make that page relevant in terms of try to post every alternate day at least something in terms of like buying, selling, or lease, or any article in some way, so that my whosoever have liked my page, they keep on getting information from my page that yeah, this guy is relevant in this industry, he's doing full-time this business and posting something valuable to them. So
Is this a personal page for Varun or a business page?
business page.
It's a business.
Business page. So what I find posting every alternate day on any of the social media channel is like it may not help you to gain a direct lead, or may not somebody after seeing your Facebook page comes to you and asks for a query. But suppose you have some client meeting with a seller and he just want to go and cross-check you on a Facebook page, on a Facebook or a Twitter or a LinkedIn. He should find enough material on that tool, on that channel, that he has something like, okay, this guy is seriously up to this in this game and is a regular guy and posting on a regular basis. So it adds a credibility to you. So that's my idea of being relevant on Facebook page. I try to keep posting every alternate day something which adds value to some of the clients, potential clients.
And so the three of you, as far as Facebook is concerned, have business pages and personal pages.
We're not asking questions yet, they're each
No.
doing 10
No,
minutes.
it's okay, it's okay. Why don't we-
That's
Well,
right.
because I'm worried that your stuff isn't gonna come out, so they can each do a few minutes and then we'll get into that, I think.
These were tender questions.
I just wanna make sure that we cover each of your stuff, and we'll know what to ask, because it could go down the Facebook channel and it might never hurt it out of it.
Okay.
That's my concern. No
So
offense.
that's a one part I do on Facebook. The other part which I do on a Facebook for lead generation is to post ads, Facebook paid ads. I learned a couple of things from Kirby, from James, to how to make your ad more effective. I implement those stuff and getting good result in terms of click ratio of Facebook. The other thing.
Sorry, I didn't quite get that. You are getting good results on the ads?
So, with Facebook ads, there is a thing. If you don't make an effective ad, like if your audience is not correctly targeted, your Facebook ad will become irrelevant. And the downside of this is that Facebook will charge you higher rate per click. So try to make your ad more relevant, more targeted, so that it has a more relevant score in terms of to their target audience, and you will be paid comparatively cheaper for every click. So that's a good part of designing a more effective ad.
How targeted? What should the audience be?
Ideally, the audience spectra is like 50 to 70K.
Oh, that's small.
That's small, yes.
Okay.
So the thing which Facebook do is like, if you make your ad and that ad is catering to like 200K people, so that's a very broader audience to cater for. So it spans few people in that spectra. So Facebook penalizes you by costing you more per click ratio or more per click charge.
How do you know it's 200 people? 200,000 people?
So when you design the ad, you have that.
Is an option?
Yes.
It is.
It actually shows you the number. It shows you.
Every time you add a
You
word,
set
it
it up.
makes it smaller?
At a word,
No,
at a
we're-
distance.
No, at a target,
Demographic.
a demographic or a geographic.
That's what I mean,
Yeah.
like a
If you
subsection,
zero down, it'll get less.
like men versus women.
You got
Men, women,
then-
age, area.
So,
No discrimination is allowed.
I was gonna add something, if I,
Yeah,
can I jump in for a second and like a term? Reach versus engagement is really important. So numbers that you get, for instance, boosting is not recommended
Yeah.
anymore. It used to be pretty good because that's the thing that goes down the side there, you'll see it. But you get targeted as a reached person, just having that thing on the side. You may not, like, we're really good at not seeing ads. So if it's there, it's counted as a reach number. So that total number, and this is in media in general, you have engagement. So if someone clicks on it, which is where you're actually being, you're having to pay for it, that's engagement. And in traditional media, there was reach, and then there's quarter hours, and so big numbers don't matter. It's when somebody actually clicks on the ad and you get an eyeball where they actually see you.
Or the conversion rate.
That's right.
Well, and then, yeah, if they actually engage, that's another thing altogether. And then you get you can't measure a cost per thousand versus a cost per engagement. And so their cost per click is good because they've actually clicked on your website or whatever you're advertising. That in turn, that's a term. I'm defining a term. Big numbers are great, but engagement's what you really want in any of this stuff.
So when it comes up with post engagements, like I'm just looking at the ad I have running now, what is that capturing, the number of people? But then it says link clicks.
That's okay. If you had a link on your click
Okay,
or on your ad, then they've gone to your spot.
right.
But in the end, all of this, like, even if they look at it, great,
It's
but
just
not really
another-
great because you want the phone call or you want
Yeah.
whatever you're offering. You want.
Sign up.
Call to action.
So just for the example, Julie, you mentioned that where you can find the reach. So this is the potential reach of this current ad, like it's reaching 75,000 people currently. And how I made sure that it should not exceed, like it should not go much beyond that. So I have put few of the filters, like I have included married people, those who have showed interest on real estate investing, those who have showed real estate related pages, those who have showed interest in mortgage loans. So the purpose of doing this exercise is to narrow down the relevant people for this ad. So Facebook allows you to do that. So more effectively you do this, your potential reach will be good enough and relevant enough so that your ad goes to the specific eyeballs who has shown some interest into the things which you want them to show.
So, again, for somebody that doesn't know, I'll include myself. I'm not absolutely clear. When you create an ad, it goes into your timeline. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Not
So,
necessarily. There's a lot of placement options. And if you go to the next page, there are probably like 10 to 15 different placement options. You can have your news feed, like as a header, your news feed, messages, Facebook, and WhatsApp. And then within each of those, there's subcategories.
This is this is the
Yeah.
places where you can post your ad. So you can show it on your feeds, you can show it in the marketplace, you can show it, so I have not included the Instagram, so you can show it in your Instagram as well, you can show it in your Messenger inbox.
Bearing in mind with all of this, I don't know, when you first opened up your Facebook and wanted to get likes, pictures are everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people start to like things just because they like the picture. And in the earlier days of Facebook, really that was, you gotta like, people like to like, they wanted to spread themselves out there. Just because they've given you a like, or just because the picture's nice and they've gone there, we are now getting more sophisticated with social media, and as users or as advertisers, you really have to have a message that is appealing, or you have to go beyond just the click. It has to have something that draws them in. There has to be, you have to, you know, content is everything. And so the ad just to measure that, okay, you've filtered it down to a certain amount of people, people lose interest very quickly. So the content's really important, how you design it.
You have seconds.
That's, yeah.
Probably
So
less.
that's even on the same way, on the same line, this Facebook ad design also works. So first you decide how many people you want to reach and everything. And this, in the second step, they ask for pictures, they ask for videos, like add a video, add a slideshow. So I've taken few of the pictures, made the slideshow, put in a good soundtrack behind, just to make them feel good. And this is my tagline. So this is what I used in terms to attract somebody who has seen this ad. So what I use is, first of all, I use, this property is in Weston. So that's 15 minutes from Go. So I used tagline words like downtown commuters or investors or first time buyers, because the price of this property is quite in a good range. So even first time buyers or people who want to upsize, they can go for it. So I try to target the audience in the first tagline. Second, I try to, with adjectives, I try to give the feel of the property, that it's an amazing opportunity to move in a detached house with a superb neighborhood of Toronto, this and that, and try to gain attraction for a viewer. Now, third thing I use, now what you need to do to know more about this thing. So I gave them a direction that connect in Messenger to know everything about this. So this is my call to action for the users. So connect in Messenger. So I want them to send me a message if they want to know more about this property. So this is how I design this ad. Okay. So once you have finalized all the stuff, you can publish it and it will become active. Now comes the second part. So what I do in terms, so why I'm asking people to connect on the Messenger. So on Messenger, suppose if I have, so Facebook allows you to customize your 3 answers for an ad. If you guys do a Facebook ad, Facebook by default gives you 3 options, like you can customize 3 questions.
You mind if I explain?
Yeah, please.
So when you click on the button, scroll down a little bit, where it says send message there, as soon as they click on that, it'll prompt them with a messenger chat directly to you. And then there's a message that automatically comes up as if you had typed it. So it's like, hey, thanks for clicking on this ad. Do you want to learn more about buying, selling, investing, for example? And those are the 3 preset options that you can set in Facebook.
So that's the thing. So that feature helps you to tackle the initial query of any of your users. So what James and I are doing other than that is using ManyChats. So that's ManyChats is a chatbot function where you can design the whole lot more level of conversation and can integrate that conversation into your Facebook ad. So now if somebody clicks on this ad, I have designed a whole set of conversation that any user may click and move forward and can get anything which he or she is looking for. So let me give you an example and show you. So I have just clicked the preview. So if somebody clicks on my ad, this will be the first message they receive, that welcome, thank you for being interested in this sun-filled home, get started to know a lot more about this house and its features. So there's a button automatically, a user need to just click it to know more about it.
And are you able to map out whenever somebody comes into this, you can see where they've gone, how deep they've gone into your
You can go in and watch them have a conversation with you.
So right now, I'm not doing anything. It's my chatbot who is driving the conversation with the user. So by this ad, the two main queries everybody wants to know, it's a location and price. So I just asked that, hey, first name, what's interest you more about this renovated detached property? They click price. They need not to even type the price. I give them the button, they just need to punch that. So in this case, I'm driving the conversation, they are getting what they are looking for, and I'm driving the conversation the way I want them to. Okay, so.
Can I
Yeah, please.
my role, if I can hopefully do it in a good way, is to also be a second guesser here.
Yeah.
Because I love technology, I love social media, I've watched social media start, and I've been engaged in it from the start. And I've also seen it evolve. And I'm not going to go too deep here, but I believe that we have to remember that we are best served by our relationship with the end user in the end. So social media works really well if we get engagement because they know us already. And the idea for whatever we do in real estate is based on relationship and trust. If we promote too much of a system, so whatever we design, if we keep them away from us, which is easy to do technology-wise, and to qualify, okay, this is someone I need to call. I think we have to design, again, based on content, that we're getting to them as quickly as we can to be in a conversation, to qualify them, and to have them hear our voice, and for us to meet them, and for us to gain a relationship. The younger generation is probably really comfortable with the arm's length relationship. But I think all of us, whether young or old or anything, in the end, we will retain our user, our client base, based on a relationship that is one that isn't social media oriented or isn't at arm's length. It will be one where we're willing to talk to. And so whenever we design these sort of things, I think if we can get to personal relationship as fast as possible, I think that's what we should try and do. And I'm being a devil's advocate kind of here, because I think, like the computer, when it first came out, all of a sudden it's going to answer all of our needs. Well, it only answers them, it's a tool, and in the end we only use it as a tool. We can't forget that social media is a media. It's not really putting us together, it's an avenue to have us come together.
But getting somebody to actually reply to your ad is the goal.
Absolutely. And
So, I mean, that's what you're getting.
So I want to add on that.
so when I was seeing this, I'm thinking, okay, price and location, maybe a third option here, and I'm some way to, do you want to talk to me now? Like I'm available, do you want to get to me now? And I can tell you more about this house. If not, stay in this, and then you kind of qualifying them if they're really interested or not. And there might be a certain part in that funnel when you decide to do that. It might not be at that point, but to get them in person connect, I think is what you want.
And does it reply in the middle of the night and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's,
I got two conversation, one was at 1:30 and one was at around 12 o'clock. I just got them in the morning, and most of them, like, they said, okay, thank you, not now. So I think I just add to that stuff. When I started this thing, I was so happy that, okay, I learned something new and this is gonna change my real estate career and everything. I thought that people gonna come and just click and I get all the information what I'm looking for, and we just close the transaction like that. Then after running a couple of ads, I realized that this tool is just to have a first level of interactions. This is actually a tool where you can have a first level of conversation and collect key information, what exactly they are looking for and what's their need. So it's just like you have a particular set of language, particular set of question, a qualifying kind of script. You just, if they go through it, you get all the answers, you get all the tags in the back end, you get all the information at the right place, and then you can start nurturing them in a regular basis with a different touch processes. That's how it works. Please.
I just want to say, in general, let's split this into two major categories. One is maintaining relationships, and the other is creating relationships. What we're in lead gen. What we're talking about right now is lead gen, so I'm going to keep it focused on that. In the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, they talk a lot about the 8x8 and how much it takes to build trust with a new prospective client. And I think often we forget, especially with social media advertising, it's not, you're not going to convert somebody after one paid ad. It's like, oh, I just spent $5 to get that lead. Why are they not ready to buy right now?
Yeah.
But once you sort of step back and think, okay, what if I reached out to them once, and then twice, and then 3, 4, 5 times, and was providing value and asking for nothing in return? What would happen then? Would I be able to build trust in that relationship, or position myself as a person of value? Probably. So again, I totally agree. Get on the phone, meet face to face as soon as you can. But people are skeptical now. They don't want to just meet a stranger that they clicked on an ad on Facebook for, because it's kind of creepy. So what you can do now is you can service them better with this technology, because it never sleeps, it never takes a break.
that's what I was thinking.
Right? And it never forgets. So if somebody clicks on your ad okay, let me run you through an example. You have a listing at 123 Main Street, and it's just come out. You can take the MLS, the client MLS, and you can put it into your bot. So you've run the Facebook ad for 123 Main Street, somebody clicks on it because they want more information. Your messenger chat pops up, there's a little button that says free report or more information. They click on that, the bot automatically sends them the client MLS into that Facebook chat. Then, okay, they've got their information. Do you want to see it? Book a viewing, call me now. No answer. That's going to be 95% of the conversations. But you've just paid to get that person's information, and now you're just going to throw it away because they didn't act on that one message. What you can do is set up a sequence. So say, they didn't respond after that second message, asking to book a viewing. The next day, they can automatically send them another message saying, hey, if you're interested in buying, I have a great resource. Here is a first-time home buyer's guide. And then it just sends it into the chat automatically, without any of your involvement. Nothing. They don't answer. 2 days from now. Have you been pre-qualified? No, yes, whatever. Here's a great website, Rate Hub. It tells you how much it's going to cost for the whole transaction, and it can connect you with the mortgage broker. And then you can just keep sending these resources automatically without your involvement, building trust and providing value to that relationship. And I think that's how you can benefit from technology in terms of lead generation.
And that's what you do with CRMs, and that's what you do.
That's what it
You put
is.
them on a plan,
Yeah, you bet.
and this is the same kind of same idea,
But
different.
I just want to point out, open rates for emails, 10 to 20%. Can anybody guess what the open rates for Facebook messages are?
What's that?
2%?
Yes.
80 to
I was
90%.
gonna say it's the opposite.
90 plus.
80 to 90%, 90 plus.
Jackie and I were just at Craig Proctor seminar this morning. An introduction to getting all his information his 3-day weekend. And the reason we were there is to review. Jackie had done a lot of Craig Proctor stuff before. And one of the things that we came away with will be using Facebook ads to generate people who might be, the unbranded product that you can hand out. For instance, a current list of properties in Etobicoke or in the Junction area and whatnot. And so this sort of thing, it's a product that they aren't ready or don't want to talk to an agent right away. You can, and so you're attracted to the unbranded element, and then you can try and convert them to a branded side of it. And I think there are a number of unbranded ways that you can get their interest.
I don't even know if it has to be unbranded. I think it's just that if you show that you're committed to providing value, even if they're not responding to you, it could be days, tens of messages, and there's no response from them, and you just keep sending them something and keep providing value, when the light goes off in their head, when they're ready, you're gonna be the first person that they think of.
So it's only going by messenger?
Yeah, Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, it goes through
Automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but now, are we not possibly contravening what is privacy? Or is it because they contacted
No,
you first, you're allowed to just keep doing it?
They've
Yeah,
engaged,
you know,
they've engaged.
So how do you said the system set up, so say 3 days later you send them first time buyer pamphlet or something, you have all that set up?
Yeah.
How are you setting, like you have the, is it a link to something or just a PDF file that's connected to your,
There's a website called ManyChat.
what's it called, what?
ManyChat, ManyChat.com. And that is what Varun was talking about with the Facebook bot. That's sort of the engine that drives the whole Facebook bot.
Is it connected with the Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go too in depth about setting that up. If you guys are interested, we can do a whole separate class on setting up a Facebook bot.
No, I just want to share personal experience. So Varun is the best friend, buddy. So one day I just go to his site and just click. So very after 2 days, I got an automated message. Hey, are you looking for buying, selling something? No?
Yeah.
Every time I go, very next day I get a message. So keep on being interaction.
Yeah.
Anytime if I want to buy or to ask something, so I can go to this guy and he can do it.
So, I was afraid this was gonna happen, and it could.
Yes.
We've had so many things with James on Facebook. If you guys wanna learn more about Facebook, this guy is like the expert on it, I get it. But what other tool, but what I mean is, you guys obviously both do, but he's already done 2 sessions on this, at least. So let's
Moving
do
on.
other ideas,
Moving
like
on.
what else do people do out
Okay,
there?
we covered
Can
a
I
lot.
add something
Quickly.
about
It's
Facebook?
already 2 o'clock, just say
Just
it.
very quickly, I also join community groups, so the areas that I'm farming, I am part of like the Markland Woods community group, and whenever somebody is asking questions, what's going on with the airplanes overhead? Like,
That, we're just gonna go into that direction.
Great.
We just covered a lot of paid ads, so why don't we
Yeah.
go and move over to unpaid
Got it.
ads and
Video walkthroughs,
fostering relationships using technology.
Instagram, BombBomb.
Yeah, who's up?
I like
Okay.
this using technology for touches, that's what this is basically. These
No.
are,
I
yes,
think
it's a
I'm
touch.
Well, that was lead gen. I'm talking about how you can use Facebook and social media as a CRM basically, to stay in touch with your past or active clients.
Right, okay, do you wanna go next now?
Sure. It's actually super ironic. So, I created a social media schedule because I have a terrible memory. And I would recommend that you do the same because I've found that consistency is probably the most important thing when it comes to touches on social media. Let me give you an example. Anybody send out a newsletter? Yeah? Well, it's not that. Do you send it out on the same day every month?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's normal. That's people come to expect it on the same day. So if you want to start a segment on social media, make it consistent because even though people might not be engaging with it that you know of, they're not liking or commenting, they might be watching it. And you post it for 2 or 3 weeks on the same day, and then all of a sudden you're like, well shit, nobody's watching it. I'm just gonna stop. And then they go onto Facebook and look for your thing and it's not there. They might not message you, but how does that look in their mind? It's like, okay, you did it for 3 weeks and now it's over. So if you're gonna do something, make sure that you can commit to it for at least a year. And that's why I'm skeptical when people are like, oh, I'm so ready, I'm gonna do this, and this. And I'm like, okay, do you realize how much work that's gonna be on a weekly basis that you're gonna have to do now? So, one of my favorites is a comment of the week. It was niche, and it separated me from other people. I do it every Wednesday. I post it, it's eye-catching, good photos, a little bit of text, doesn't take too long. And it's been a great way of staying in touch with people. Somebody reached out to me, somebody from my high school in my brother's grade reached out to me yesterday and said, I'm looking to buy a condo, I've seen your posts on Facebook every once in a while. I didn't even know we were friends on Facebook. But it's just the consistency and the repetition doing it over and over and over again.
So you're doing
target
that,
marketing an area,
but
target marketing.
you're doing that on your personal page versus your business page.
And
I see it every Wednesday.
I'll explain why. Facebook downgrades business posts because they want you to boost it. So automatically, the post on your business page will not get as many views as one on your personal page. That being said, don't only post work stuff on your personal page because people will be annoyed. So find a balance. What I do, well, that's a whole separate thing, but either 50-50 or 30% work, 70% personal. Keep some kind of ratio, whatever you do, just figure it out and stick to it. And then share your personal posts onto your business page. Like Varun was saying, if somebody wants to check you out and they find your business page, you don't want it to be empty, right? But you still want to get engagement with people, so you can just share that post to your business page and at least it will be there.
There's a level of understanding too that I learned from Kirby Chan that we can create groups so that you can send posts, whether they're personal posts or business posts, to a defined group, and you can create a group that would receive that. So if you have 1,000 people in your group, you can have 800 of them that you would send a personal message to, and then 200. It's a good filter system. I think we'll get, in social in general, I think we'll get better at filtering who gets our targeted messages.
I think you have to almost think of Facebook as a CRM. Most people think of it as social media, but in reality, if you set it up properly, it can work as a CRM too. Do anything?
You want, that's a deep topic.
What about video? Sorry.
So,
Content?
I think I'm here to talk about BombBomb and about the video walkthrough. This is not necessarily a lead gen conversation. I think we could turn it into a lead gen, but it is for people that you're working with, and whether or not BombBomb's worth the expense. BombBomb is, everyone knows it, I presume. We get sent messages from the brokerage all the time through BombBomb, and they're really slick. Generally speaking, it's a really slick execution. And it's...
What are you talking about, what brokerage?
Ours. We get
Yes,
messages.
message
the agents?
Oh, we get invited to things, certainly, Lizanne was inviting us to Ignite, et cetera, using.
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So those like Ignite.
BombBomb is a video messaging, it's an email system.
It's a mass email
That
platform that
is-
supports video.
Technically, why it exists is, it's a server base which allows you to send big videos, which are big database, like 100 megabytes of video, just like that. Where you can't send that by a Rogers account or any of our normal accounts. So it connects you to their servers, and you can have a video in the message, and it shows up right away.
It's embedded into the email.
Yeah, and it's a very simple, way of sending videos. I do, to qualify what that, I think the best way of communication is in person. The next best way would be a telephone call, but I think even better than a telephone call would be a video conversation, because people get to see you in real time. Like a FaceTime conversation with somebody, you know what they're wearing at that point. You know whether they're in a good mood, and you know that all that stuff. It's a very genuine conversation, almost as good as being in real time with them. So the next best thing would be a good message that's designed for somebody, or is perceived to be designed, sent to them as a video. And I think we're all probably, when we first start doing videos, Julie has amazing videos, and she's very
Get up here, Julie.
Natural?
yeah, it's natural. She's not afraid of making mistakes in a conversation. She doesn't make mistakes, but
Occasionally you do.
it's her. And I think we all want to be, certainly I would like to be perfect. And so when I do that video, or when I'm doing something, it's like, I gotta practice, I gotta make it right. And then you never do it. But what you get to find out is a video message, you can send with BombBomb again, you can send, you go by a house and you see it's a neat place, stop, you can pull out your cell phone, press on the app, the BombBomb app, you can press record, you can create this very quick message that's in real time, and you can send it to them. It's like a text message. You don't have to be actually talking to them, but you're talking to them in a video, they get it, and it's different for them. It's one of those things that, oh, right, this is a video for me, and it's a video, how neat. And it's completely surrounded by a template that has your branding on it, has all the information and links to other places, your video or your website or anything that you want in the template, or other places that you have them wanting to go, or you want them to go.
I think it also helps build trust in a relationship when somebody can see your face. If you were to just say, I could send a solid text email, or an email with me talking the text. I think it's more engaging, and people just start to become more familiar with your face.
I'll go in two directions, price and then the video walkthrough. Or first video walkthrough, then over to price. When we pitch our buyers, and when we talk to our buyers, we want to stand out and be different. And finding time to show property, or when they send us 5 or 6 different properties to go and that they want to see, getting the amount, like 5 or 6 for me is a lot of properties to show. 4 maybe is about right.
Yeah.
And timing. Today, the good property is going like that. The not so good price, probably preferential property is there and has been there for a while. But you can screen, you can offer screening properties for them. You get to know what they like and whatnot, and they're busy. Hey, I'll go and see this thing. If it's worthy of me sending you a video walkthrough about it, I'll send it to you, and you can then decide, should we go and see it together? So you're really making them decide whether or not it's a property that they want. We're not telling them unless this is one you should see. Here it is in video. And again, it's as simple as pulling your cell phone out, pressing the button, and not worried about how much data you're creating, and doing a walkthrough, showing the house up front, showing yourself, here we are, we're about to go in, and you go into the main floor, you talk about the main floor as you see it, you show it. One of the things you bear in mind, you don't want to go too fast. Generally, when we think about doing video, their attention span is not very long. Well, when you're sending them a video of a house that they haven't seen yet, their attention span is longer. And you don't always have to be talking. And you can show stuff and then tell them what they're seeing and then add your own commentary to it.
Do you have to, so you don't video it through BombBomb, you can do it through
You
your
can
own
do both.
phone?
Jackie prefers to do it in the BombBomb app, so as a
Photos
BombBomb
on your
video.
phone.
But you can also do it through photos on your phone, right?
Correct, and I
That's the thing
prefer,
that people have to remember.
I prefer to create the video, go back to the office and doll it up a little bit and make it.
Or you can use it in different spots, right?
Well, and that's the next thing. If you go and see a property, to have a bank of properties that you've been through, and you can use it, it's like this house, and then you've already got a commentary of having gone through it, or if it's your own listing, you have a video walkthrough, and you can easily send that to them through this BombBomb software.
So you don't use data when you're using, if you send this
No.
through BombBomb, you don't use
No,
data?
as much data as you send an email.
Regular email.
Okay, but so if you use your own phone app as opposed to the.
You can't send an email, you can't send a video through email,
Right.
because it's too large.
Well,
Well, you can do Google
but with
Drive.
the app in your phone, you
But
create.
you can through BombBomb, that's what I mean.
Correct. So you can create the movie or the video with your cell phone, and then you can download it to the app on your cell phone or onto the website, which you log into.
Why would you want to use your phone as opposed to just use the BombBomb?
In the end, you're
Is
using
it
the
the
phone.
same?
Because then you
They're all
can
In
use
the
it
end, you're
in
using
different places.
Plus, you can send, it's
not
very
on
timely.
BombBomb, it's on your phone, and you can use the
Can you
video.
edit it on?
Oh, if you use the BombBomb,
no,
you
no,
can't
no,
access the video once you
Yeah, you
send it?
can, but you access it through BombBomb.
Oh, I see, okay.
It's also an example, we have a buyer a client who we sold their property. They live in Niagara Falls. They have this specific place that they want to keep in touch with and understanding when they see the right place in a Sudbury, they want to buy. So we see it, we contact them, then we say, we'll go and take a look, and we send them immediately, like they know when we're going to see it. They're ready to receive the video walkthrough. Now, to me, this is an extraordinary service. This isn't just, regular real estate. This is in connection with somebody very tuned to what their buying interests are. Now, there's one caveat. I did have a buyer that was kind of lazy, if I can put it that way. They would send me more properties that they wanted to see because I could probably go and see them. And I was spending a good amount of time creating these different videos. And so, and I thought, well, I promised it, I better do it. And sure enough, I did it. But then I got a little bit smarter and I let them know, I'll go take a look at it, and if it's valuable enough, if it makes good sense to go and send you the walkthrough, I will create the video. So I moved them off the getting a video for every property that they just saw in their list to ones which I was filtering. And at the same time, I was saying, if this one's, and during the video, I said, this one's one that I don't think we need to see. There you go. But this one's really one that we should schedule and go and see. So I'm engaging to have them see the property. There is no way a video walkthrough will sell the property. It will certainly engage them.
I've sold through.
Oh, have you? Okay, well, for them to really feel that it's a valuable property.
Sometimes they're like far away and they can't
Right.
see it and they have to buy it
Jamaica
anyway.
or somewhere else
Yeah.
like that, yeah. The cost of the bomb, there are different levels of it. We had it for both of us, I think we paid $936 for 2 members in a team. You can have a team membership, and the minimum amount is $436 a year. It's a lot of money. But if you use it a lot, like I think the credibility of the video message is worthy. And so we've gone down from two subscriptions to 1, and we have it as the team membership. And we have 1 email on it, and we can log in, either one of us can log into it, so as long as you have the email. The template that we create, you can have different templates, so you can actually zero into different templates depending on what you're doing. You can even do a birthday, congratulations, happy birthday, and it's an easy one to send out. It's already pre-done, so you're not, sorry.
This is on a slightly different topic, but what about texting communication? Like, do you need an app or something like that, a CRM, to do mass texts to people? How do you do that for keeping in touch with people? Because basically people open text and they don't even put emails.
Yeah.
So I can communicate much more easily, and now, I mean, I've got thousands of people texting me, but,
Wow.
so what's your, no, agents do it all the time. How do you even keep track of everything? My vet does it, and now my vet, you know, happy birthday, it's time for a checkup, these are the results, you know what I mean? Like, what's the deal with that?
Command can do it. It uses a third-party service called Twilio. It's $14 a month, and it does not send from the same
Twilio.
phone number that you have. But it uses the same number every time. So if you have a client, tell them to save both your number and your Twilio number, and you should be good to go.
So Twilio, through command, so command will have their text numbers, and then,
You can create a group text.
Yeah,
Putting in,
but this way you can send an individual message to everyone, instead of being in a group. It's like a
that's what
one-on-one.
everyone sees it, yeah, okay, got it.
you know, like,
Yeah,
you can send a group one and say, not a group one, like an individual one.
And then when smart plans become available, if they ever do, you'll be able to integrate that texting into your smart plan. So for example, they automatically get your happy birthday message
Yeah.
on their birthday via text.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. See, technology's coming up.
Yeah, there it is, Twilio.
You can register on this and then connect with your command. That will automatically
Do
send
you do
these
it?
messages. No, not yet.
You don't pay the $14 a month yet?
Not yet.
Are you going to?
I don't have that deep database to connect with, connect on Messenger, on Messenger.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to offer up another product that Jackie and I just purchased. It's called Sales Rabbit. And our idea of using it is so that we can, if we do door knocking or any sort of mapping, we can qualify homes from Google Maps and very quickly and easily identify the address of the home, and we can put any sort of database information against the home, and it's on an iPad. And the benefit,
Say that again. Start. What are you doing? Google.
okay, so the app and the service is called Sales Rabbit. It costs $400 US a year. There's a $200 setup charge, and then there's a monthly charge or an annual charge. You can, it uses Google Maps, and you can identify a farm area, or you can identify any homes that you've sold, and you can basically use Google Maps to identify any property that you want in any way that you want. And you can do it in real time. What we utilized, that we had a third-party person go knock on doors after we'd sent a postcard out to our, call it farm area, and we could see him in real time qualifying homes, whether it was not home or interest for follow-up and whatnot. This, we're not absolutely sure how we use this more in the future, but to have a farm area that we can see in real, like we can see a picture of it and identify properties, and it, when you tap on it, it gives you the address and whatnot. It's kind of interesting.
What other detail is it giving you? Is it giving you like values and whatever else have you, or this isn't something like the thing that.
This is address.
That GeoWarehouse put out a few years back.
No, well, I don't know what where I
There
was.
was an app that was iPad, and you took a picture of the house. Do you remember this, Julie? You
Oh,
took a picture of the house, and you could actually, it would give you like data on the house, last sale, and sales in the area and all that.
I
No.
think Kelly was doing that or something like that too.
Well, probably, yeah, but no.
This-
is something
this
that
gives address
GeoWarehouse
information.
did, actually.
So this will give you address information, then you input the information to it. So if you're out door knocking, rather than taking notes, you can have a preset of qualifiers and you can actually do it in a quick time, and while you're talking to them, you can actually identify that.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's making like your notes where you, just after the knock, you just make a note.
And then you can make an Excel file from it, you can qualify, you can identify different elements that you want to do for follow-up later on.
Okay.
Do they have a trial,
I do
like a
have
free trial on that?
No.
No,
No.
I think I do have a similar kind of app, which is like Spot.io.
Oh, sorry.
Spot you? Okay, don't know that.
So this is also something that you are like walking on a street and you just do door knock 298 something. So it has a very detailed like map of that particular street, and on that house number you just put it out like, okay, this guy told me to call him, this guy told me to send him monthly newsletter, or he's not interested, he's interested in 6 months. So for every pin, you just dropping pin on every door wherever you are going, and just keeping the notes like what is the plan to follow, what's the conversation we had, something like that.
So that's the same.
That's a Spot.io.
Spot you. Any questions about the bomb thing? I'm not sure that I gave you.
What non not Bob?
I think it's great.
What were you gonna say?
You're supposed to speak now,
Yeah,
James. Or are you done speaking?
I'm done.
Well, do you guys have any questions?
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer that first.
Yeah.
What has been the most effective
Good
social
question.
media? All this stuff you're talking about, what actually is working?
Honestly, the irony of this is the things that are free work the best for me. So, posting on Facebook, my newsletter, and Instagram.
On your personal page,
Free
and then
stuff.
sharing it to your business.
Okay, I'll explain. On Facebook, to do paid ads, you need to have a business account. So I set that up,
Yeah.
but I don't really use it very often. I just share stuff that I post onto the business page so that if anyone were to look, they would see a history of posts and whatnot.
Okay.
But it's originally being posted on my personal page.
Oh, I see.
On Instagram, you can set up business accounts as well. So I actually set up a personal account that I keep for myself, and I set up a business account that I actually registered as a business, because it's the same thing. To run ads on Instagram, you need to have a business account. So Instagram is essentially a very simple, distilled version of Facebook. You have two options. You can post to your news feed, or you can post to your story. Stories disappear after 24 hours, posts don't. I
Your
try
story
to,
disappears after 24 hours?
yes.
Why do we even have stories?
People love it. It's like reality TV
It's
on
like you are
crack.
living in somebody else's phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't look at my feed anymore, I just watch people's stories.
that's what I mean.
People are living their life in your stories.
But now, for example, I just started doing something. Oh, it's Wednesday. I have to do my condo of the week. I'll post a condo of the week, and on my Instagram story, you can post polls and quizzes. So I'll get stories that people can engage with. I'll post the condo, and I'll say, like, what building is this? The Bisha, the Thompson, the Ritz. Nobody knows, so it's like hard questions. And then at the end, I'll say, whoever gets all of them right, I'll pick out the winners and do a giveaway. And then I'll say like, okay, here's a picture of the inside, what's the price? And I'll pick 3 options, and I have to guess which one is right.
So stories only apply to Instagram, or is that?
They are on Facebook,
Yeah.
but nobody uses them, to my knowledge.
Okay.
James, can I ask you a question? Because I'm debating about opening up my Instagram, because I have a rather, like a bigger Instagram following. So I don't know if I should just maintain that and add my work to it, or start from scratch with the realty. And I don't know how, like, it took me years to build it.
Yeah,
So you start all over.
I had that same thought, and I struggled with it for a long time.
Yeah.
The final conclusion that I came to was that people who follow you, some of them don't care to see your work. So I separated them.
Yeah.
What I did was, every once in a while, I would share things from my business account onto my personal page, so that at least the people that I had personal connections with who were interested in my work could also follow my business account. And then they would have both.
What's your reason to want to open it up? Just because it's big engagement and so you're worried about content on it?
So what's my concern about opening it up?
Yeah.
I have my kids on there. So I don't necessarily want,
Same
my travels, my boat, I don't need people knowing what my personal lifestyle is.
But to that point, vulnerability is a theme for 2019 when it comes to social media. People smell bullshit a mile away.
Yeah,
So they want to know that what they're seeing is really you.
who you are.
Otherwise, what's the point?
When you have 2 accounts, you can very easily just do one post and decide to have it on both. You just toggle two switches, and it'll
Oh,
go to both. So you don't have to repost it, you can do it on both.
I did not know that.
Or you can say no to whichever account. You can create a post and decide whether it goes to your personal account or to another account. And you can have 4 or 5 of them if you want.
I have
Same
my
thing you can
kids.
do on Facebook and Instagram, like if you want to share something on Instagram, at the same time you want to share them with Facebook story as well, just take the button for the Facebook story and it will share both on the Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, so you can do it in reverse too? Because I usually do it from Instagram to Facebook, but now you're saying.
I have not tried ever from like sharing a story on Facebook and then sharing it to the Instagram. I also do it from the Instagram and then make it available on the Facebook.
The problem with sharing it from Instagram to Facebook is it becomes, all those hashtags are from Instagram, they know immediately it's not it's like a duplication.
Also, remember the different types of content. Different platforms were created for different forms of content. If you're just trying to cover all your bases by posting the same thing everywhere, people are gonna deselect themselves. Because what's the point? If they're gonna be on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and they're seeing the same thing on all of them, that's gonna get a little repetitive, right?
But there is a marketing theory that people need to see things more than once to actually get it through the thick of it all.
But just modify it slightly. It can be similar, but just not exactly the same. That's
Right.
sort of my.
That's the thing. Okay.
That's how I do
James,
it too.
with the algorithms of Facebook, like, I get Julie's post, I don't get your post, yet we're both friends. So why don't I see your comment of
posts?
the week on my news feed?
Go to him, go to his, like, search him as friend, and go to one of his posts.
Facebook will.
So if you
another-
have you have your friends and you're posting, but what are the chances that they actually even see what you're posting?
30%.
They don't see them all, it's annoying.
Like, how do you change, I guess you can't, how do you change that? How do you control that if you can't?
Good question. Know the Facebook algorithms. Something I started doing, which I noticed had a pretty good effect, was birthday wishes. People always, almost 90% of them, put their birthday onto Facebook.
Right.
And every day, I'll go into the search bar of Facebook, and you just type in birthdays of my friends. And then it'll show you everyone who's put their birthday into their Facebook profile and whose birthday it is today. And then I snap a nice picture with my smiling face, put some emojis on it, and I say, happy birthday. And then in Facebook's algorithm, they're like, these people are having a conversation. I should show them each other's posts as well, because they probably engage with each other. So 2 birds with 1 stone.
That's
I
good.
just touch them with a happy birthday message,
Yeah.
and they're more likely to get my post now.
That's
That's good.
I think we have to remember too, though, again, compliments to Julie, anybody that's engaging with their social media. The moment you're in actual conversations with people, then that's what this, it's social. Most of my stuff is body of work just to have it there should they decide to go to the spot and to qualify, oh, you're a real person, and oh, you have a life and stuff like that. So there's one thing where you're spewing out information, and then there's another one where you're actually engaging. And obviously social, any algorithm or any reason to do it, if you're engaging with somebody, then it's actually working.
That's really, at the end of the day, the objective is to engage with people, because if you didn't, that's the point of any of it, right? So don't just like post and then forget about it. I know
That's me.
I grill her a lot, my mom does it too. I'll look on her Facebook and she's got 50 unread notifications, like, these people are trying to interact with you off the things that you posted, and you're just neglecting them. Many orphans.
One more thing you can do with the Facebook is that you can schedule your post as well. So
Through command.
command as well.
You can what?
You can schedule your post for the future as well. So I did it for this weekend only. So I was on a vacation. I went to New York. But for the Victoria Day, I want my message to send out on my Facebook business page that I have sent it out. So I have scheduled it for Sunday evening that this is an extended weekend. Enjoy your weekend. I made my own personalized post. So that's also a thing like you can explore it. You can use it more effectively to make yourself again relevant in this.
Julie, what you post a lot of different types of things on Facebook. What works best for you? I see you post like articles, you'll post videos, you post personal videos of your
This year,
team.
we've changed our, we've added a different element, which is we used to do mostly video testimonials of clients, and of course our video walkthroughs, and this year we're doing videos of our stories about our clients, but us explaining what we did, because we're trying to, because people see us volunteering, they see us listing houses, and they see us all, I mean, first of all, our newsletter is super personal. We're all about vulnerability, we're all about telling our, being honest or whatever. But the videos this year we've changed to be more, more us talking about what we do as professionals to help people. So that's one of our, stories, that's what we're doing.
Anybody watch Game of Thrones?
Literally.
Final?
No,
Yeah.
don't tell me, I haven't watched any of it, I haven't watched it. Okay, but I agree, it's stories, so that's where we're on this year. It's all about
Stories connect
stories.
people. That was my point.
Yes.
Nothing connects people better than a good story.
And something funny too, so it's nice.
And
Humor.
Okay, so one of the funniest videos that we got the most action on this year. Yeah, exactly. Jen, so we're all doing different we're all different personalities on our team too, so it's not just me. And for example, Jen isn't the businessy kind of person the way I'm, much more of that thought process, so I like to tell those kind of stories. She likes to do these goofy videos. I'm doing a lot more goofy videos, but she does this pineapple video she did. Oh my God, it went like viral, everybody like, how to cut a pineapple, she did a 2-part series, it was hilarious. Now she has to tell everybody all the different kinds of ways to cut fruit or vegetables or something. Anyway, it went over great, so, and people still ask me about this. I did a lint. I bought this thing from Amazon. I was like in love with my little lint brush, and it's electric. It goes, zzz. I'm telling you, that feeling of getting this little lint off. People love that shit. I did one of an opener of this jar opener that I got. My mom got it for me for Christmas, but it's a great Mother's Day gift because it doesn't hurt your hands to open those jars, instead of having to hit jars and stuff. Oh my God. People remember you. Oh, I saw you. They like that stuff. It's goofy, it's stupid, but it's fun.
So a whole
it's-
subsection of videos on the internet for satisfaction.
Yes, so these are the kind of things we're experimenting with. I use BombBomb for happy birthdays, I'll send a video text, that
Are
sort of
those
thing.
posting on Facebook? Where do you share those videos? Fruit cutting, lint rolling,
Oh, Facebook,
jar opening, Facebook?
Facebook, that's where I'm doing it on that. But I do find that half of my clients are on Instagram and half of them are on Facebook. So
Instagram
do you
is-
have to do separate, but I'm trying to separate them a little bit.
People are moving to Instagram. It's-
People are really moving into Instagram.
So Facebook is the old doll, it's there, and people are probably not participating in it as much. But it's easier for people to do a quick post in Instagram, and they're looking at Instagram more often right now.
I would say different people like different social media platforms. I think it's the personality as much as anything else. Certainly, like, I don't even think it's an age group, because my friends who are like, say, 50 are totally into Instagram, and then of course Tyler, who's like 35, is like, you're a loser for being on Facebook, but he's not even on Instagram, so I'm like, what can I say? You're not even on Instagram, get it together. So, you know, you can't win. You're on Facebook, and you're 20-something,
I know.
so there you go.
The one thing I want to leave you with is that Instagram is 99% used on a cellular device because you can't post
That's
on
the
Instagram
Right.
on the computer. But remember this.
There are
This is
workarounds
within
on that.
news feed.
Yeah, I know,
website.
my web team doesn't.
I know, but the average person
The
wouldn't
average
think to
person
do
doesn't
it. So
have-
they
yeah.
consume most of the media, most of what's consumed is on a mobile device.
I agree.
This is what an ad looks like on Instagram. I don't know if you can see it from here. That is what a post looks like on Instagram.
Almost the same,
Almost the same, and there's nothing else.
right?
It's literally a feed of just this.
So just so you know, when we do a link in Instagram, it doesn't, you can't link to it. You have to copy and paste, right? When you do a link,
On the screen?
yeah,
Yeah, you can. So like,
there you go.
Varun, what's your most successful thing? Is it the Facebook ads, it's the happy birthday messages, what's working?
It's a Facebook ad with this manager integration. So what I'm getting is like I get a pool of subscribers to my ManyChat. I have people who have showed interest into certain properties. I have all them marked into different tags, and I can I'm designing and I'm sending them messages based on those tags. So suppose I have 5 users who have shown that they are interested in 600 to 800K property. So I know their price range. So whenever I come across anything in that particular neighborhood where they have shown interest, I send them a message. You know, I just got, there's a new listing in in this town, in this city, in this price range. Would you be interested to know more about it? I got few replies on that. So this is how I'm like building a trust, nurturing them, giving them touches, like all this every monthly Toronto real estate sales data. I send them with some tagline, look, this is heating up, would you like to drop in now or waiting for some more time, something like that. So that's how I'm designing my touches to
And
my
are you
subscribers.
taking them from Facebook and putting them in command? As your
Those
CRM?
who are qualified for, like, I got 2 people who are qualified now, I'm sending them listings as well. So now I'm transferred them to command. Now they are in my command database from my ManyChats. So right now I'm just filtering, putting more filter, getting more quality checks that when they are ready, what they are ready for, then I move it to the,
Your CRM is command now? You
my
just-
CRM is command, yes.
How about you, Julie? You lived together?
I'm going to command,
You are?
damn it, this year. I'm excited,
let me know if I can.
Wow.
I'm excited.
I also just want to leave you guys with the thought.
Crazy.
I was mentioning earlier, the open rates on Facebook are unprecedentedly high. But Facebook also owns WhatsApp. You know what WhatsApp? Anybody?
Which is the most international.
They also own Instagram. Those are the 3 largest communication platforms in the world.
They own all 3?
Uh-huh. And they're going to be releasing a messaging app that integrates all of them.
Like a Hootsuite.
What I'm thinking is, obviously, not now, but I've already started the process of moving my newsletter into Facebook, where I'm sending out the newsletter every month to my whole database through a Facebook Messenger chat. Because more people open it, it's easier. And I think that the way we're going, Facebook's slowing down, and Facebook's getting old, but it's almost replacing email in that sense.
Interesting.
Think about it.
Dude,
Yeah,
killing me here.
So you're suggesting, like, we send out a mid-month, we should send it out to our Facebook.
Because you can send it right into the messenger chat. You can save it as a PDF or a JPEG, and you just open the chat, pop it up, and it's right there. It's not even a link that takes them out of Facebook.
So, I'm just gonna say, not everybody's on Facebook. They've all got email.
No,
That's the
that's the
difference.
wrong email. And for those people, you can send it to them in the mail, because they probably have an address.
I'm
Right?
just saying that
How
social
many
media
people are
drives me
users?
nuts. I think it's making us crazy.
That is,
So,
I really think it's
So
mentally killing us.
I'm moving to the
It's a fact.
anti-social media.
This is the problem,
So,
like
you
you're
know,
getting a
I
lot of
believe
the
it's
opposite.
spam in the long run, and I think we will have social media close contact, and we'll learn how to not be interested in ads from anybody.
I think people love social media. It is their community now, so I do agree that it's a sort of community, but you're not always out on a Friday night. Like, a community is when you're out in public, but lots of times you can't always be like,
It's the social media
means of communication.
E-commerce.
Well, it's
Meaning
changed
by
the
your-
world, but I think the world's getting smart to it, and I think they're also,
I think it's
We
getting
don't-
sick from it.
Online
and
shopping.
things
we
happen.
don't like the data, like what we aren't talking about is,
That's why
we're
those
talking about
chatbots are
data.
good.
Yeah.
Go on for certain hours of the day and the rest of it's taken care of without you.
Like,
There is a place for these
Yeah.
you
chatbots.
on Instagram, dude?
I'm gonna protect my data, I don't want people to know me.